Hi, fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and this is episode 43 of the airflow and pressure differential comparison of 120 millimeter fans. Sorry, last night I had a difficult night. I had some stomach problems, and I was up late, so I'm kind of groggy today. So if I make a lot of mistakes, I apologize. This is the anemometer or airflow meter that I use for testing airflow, obviously. And unfortunately, it only has 4 decimal places when I need 5 to make sure it's accurate enough. I calibrated this against the Noctua A12 by 25, but that's not enough. So as the numbers get large enough, they start to distort. I'm not a mathematician, so I have no way of figuring out the equation I would need to adjust these numbers so that they're correct. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe somebody out there can figure that out for me, but I can't figure it out for the life of me. I just don't have that kind of ability. So, yeah, you're asking, why don't you get a better anemometer? No job since December. One patron, only one patron, Rudik on Patreon. Thank you, Rudik. And that's it. So, yeah, I don't really have any options. I'm kind of stuck. And I'm using cubic meters per hour, not cubic feet per minute. The 5 fans, the Sama YH1205i, the MSI MPG Easy 120 ARGB, and the Sama is obviously ARGB as well. The Cooler Master MasterFan MF120 Halo 2, or Halo Squared, depending on how you want to say it, also ARGB. The Zalman SF120, also ARGB. And the NZXT F120 RGB fans. This is a 3-pack. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the RPM results up for these 5 fans. I'd like you to look at pictures of the fans, take into consideration the gap between the fan blades, the fan blade design, the hub diameter, the frame design, and so on and so forth, and see if you can use that along with the specs that I'm going to put up to figure out which fan will have the worst airflow and which will have the best, and which will have the worst pressure differential and which will have the best. Give me a sec here, I'll put that up. All right, so we can see that the Sama came in with the lowest. It was published at 1500. It came in at 1460 within spec. Zalman 1500 came in at 1570. Then NZXT and 1800 came in. The highest one came in at 1853.7. MSI 1900 came in at 2000. Cooler Master 2050 came in at 2110. So go ahead and put your comments, your guesses in the comments, that is. And please, as you're watching the video, please don't change your results. There's no reason to. It's not a competition. It's not who's better than who. This is just a learning experience for everybody so we can learn together how to better identify fans that are actually going to do a good job. And again, this is focusing on airflow fans, not on static pressure. And as it turns out, I guess I can't say I'm surprised that the Zalman is not the best one, but I kind of thought it might be the Sama, honestly. So the Zalman was the worst at 162.6. The Sama was 10 better than that and almost tied with the Cooler Master. That's a little bit of a surprise. The NZXT came in at 4 better, almost 4 better. The MSI came in at, what is that, like 30 better, something like that. So I'm a little bit surprised by the numbers, but the numbers are the numbers. So I don't know if you got it right or not. Hopefully you're starting to pick this stuff up, and we'll take a look at pressure differential now. And you can see that the Cooler Master, wow, was the worst at 70, but still 70 is, I believe, the 3rd or the 4th quartile. So all of these are going to be in the top half of the list. The Sama is at 71, the NZXT is 72, the Zalman is 73, and the MSI is 75. So they're going to be packed pretty close to each other. So let's find out where everything is on the list. All right, so this is currently sorted by RPMs. And keep in mind, RPMs are not the most important factor when considering airflow and pressure differential. It does play a role, obviously, as you will see as you look at the list. but it's not the most important thing. It tends to make more difference when it comes to noise. We have the worst one, the Kingwin Advanced Series CFR 012LB at 780.3. Then the damaged Spire Air Force. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get a replacement for that because Spire has not bothered to respond to me. I don't think they actually even exist anymore, but I could be wrong. So nothing in the first quartile here. So let's see what's going on. Aha! The Sama is the lowest on of the 5 in the second quartile, followed not too far away by the Zalman. And now we have the NZXT and the MSI in the third quartile. And the Cooler Master seems to be the only one in the fourth quartile, very much at the top of it as far as like it's barely in the fourth quartile. Because the best ones down here, the Young Yihao Snow Fan for airflow, for static, for RPMs. So I'm going to rearrange this according to pressure differential. All right, so now we can see that this is organized, as I said, by pressure differential. And the worst is the Lambtron Nova at only 20, the UNM Life at 21. And within a few more fans, we get to the 30s, and a few more fans, we get into the 40s. And we get about 2/3 of the way through the first quartile, and we're in the 50s. So we're not going to see anything yet. Still nothing in the third quartile. And finally, between mostly the third quartile, well, about half and half between the third quartile and the fourth quartile, we've got the Cooler Master, Sama, NZXT, Zalman, and MSI. So as you can see, they're fairly closely packed together. So now I'm going to reorient you to see the airflow, which is what you're here for, I'm sure. And the worst on the list is the Kingwin Advance again. At 70, the Scythe Wonder Snail 1200 RPM at 79.8. Sorry, 70.8 and 79.8. The Top Power Nanotech fan at 91.8. And then we get the Nexus Real Silent Case fan and the UNM Life 120 millimeter brushless at 96.6 and 99.6. And nothing is in this first quartile, looks like. But let's go ahead and, oh, the Zalman is in the second quartile. Honestly, given the design, which is very interesting looking, but not very practical, I'm not too surprised that it ended up being here. But that said, it's not horrible, but it's not great. It's pretty much just an average airflow rate for the most part, maybe a little bit above average. Yeah, it's above average, but not amazing. And then it's followed by the Sama, the Cooler Master, and the NZXT in the next quartile, in the third quartile, I believe it is. And these all have decent airflow. And the MSI is the only one in the fourth quartile. Good job. Nothing to sneeze at. Nothing great compared to the ones at the bottom of the list, but still very, very nice. So now let's nudge over to add in the RPMs. And I'm going to go backwards this time so that you can see how fans stack up and see if maybe the fan that you might be interested in is what you really want to get, or if maybe there's something else on the list that you prefer to get, or maybe you're just trying to learn about fans. Whichever it is, fans, it's all up to you. Here we go. Take a look. And please notice that although the fans with the highest RPMs are at the bottom, there are other fans that are much slower that are also at the bottom, like that Barrow down there. And the Thermalright TLC12 Pro. And the PC Cooler P12 Pro B. And some of the fans that are higher, like the Cooler Master Mobius 120, not the OC, the regular one, are farther down the list. Or we can say the Silverstone 120i Pro air penetrator. And the Thermal Take CT120. And getting even further down the list, now we see the Tusser Prism 4 reversed. And the Asia Horse Cosmic R reversed E, or RE. Always very interesting. And what you will notice is, although there are a lot of greens at the bottom and more reds and yellows and oranges at the top, there are heavy greens at the worst part of the list as well for pressure differential. Not so much for, oh yeah, it's pressure differential. So anyways, so I hope that you have found some use from today's episode. And sorry to get it out so late again. I'm not feeling well. I hope tomorrow will be a better day. I'm going to try to get some sleep. And I thought I got lots of sleep today, but apparently whatever it is just slamming me. So, okay. If there are any comments, questions, please keep it civil. Put it in the comments, and I'll try to respond to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.